So thank you for being with us today for this great announcement for Niagara University Purple Eagles Athletics. My name is Tom Burns. We have a very brief program for you, but it's a wonderful day on Monteagle Ridge and here at Classic Lanes. I did a little research. I can believe this. It's on our website. I know that doesn't make it true, but it is true. When the founders of Niagara University first started, they started on Best Street in Buffalo, New York. 6 priests. 6 Vincentian priests. And then when they were looking for land, they came up to Niagara Falls and the areas between what was called the Suspension Bridge and whatever else. So there was a tavern and a bowling alley, which then became the sacristy for the original university back in 1857. The university started in 1856. So our bowling history dates back to almost the inception of the university. But on a more serious note, I was talking with one of the members of the media. When you work in higher education, people just assume that you're competitors with all the other institutions around you, and we are. There's no question we are. But you form friendships with all those institutions as well. So we, as an institution, know a lot of people at Medaille University, and we were deeply saddened when we heard that they were closing. It impacts us, not in the same way it impacts the faculty, staff, and administration there, and certainly the students, but we feel that as an institution, and we feel awful for the students. We started working with the Medaille administration almost immediately on any number of plans to help their students find a pathway forward, whether that's through a club or activity, certainly an academic program, and the reason we're here today, this incredible bowling program that was run at Medaille under the Mavericks name. I worked at Medaille for about 5 years. I'm very familiar with the Mavericks. We want to welcome Laura Edholmes, the Director of Athletics for Medaille, who decided to join us with us today. Thanks for being with us, Laura. But it is great that we are starting a women's bowling program with the Purple Eagles, Division I athletics. And to talk a little bit more about that piece of it, my pleasure to introduce the Associate Vice President for Athletics at Niagara University, Simon Gray. Simon?
Thank you very much, Tom. I think when we first met some of the bowlers at Medaille who are with us, thankfully, at Niagara University, one of the words that kept coming up was excited. And I mentioned to them last week that we may have been excited in the beginning, but it's only grown in the time that we've gotten to know them. We've gotten to know Coach Jeff and Coach Peggy. And as this bowling dream of Division I at Niagara University has come into reality, we're extremely excited to welcome women's bowling into our portfolio. We now have 19 Division I programs. This will be our 11th on the women's side. And they're going to fit in many ways. They're going to have to teach us how to be fans of bowling, right? We were talking about it. When exactly do we cheer? When are we quiet? But one way that they're going to fit in right away is something that we take great pride in, and that's our academic excellence. Our top priority for student athletes at Niagara University is for them to graduate, for them to come through, have an excellent experience as a student athlete, but the number one thing that we hope for them is that they get enriched academically and go on to have a wonderful life beyond Niagara. The grade point average of our student athlete population, which is more than 350 on a yearly basis last year, was greater than 3.3, which is exceptional. But it's even more exceptional that our bowling team that we will be bringing into the mix had a 3.4. So they will be raising what's already an excellent grade point average for our athletics program. And we're incredibly proud of you for the achievements that you've had and excited to have you come into the fold. As I mentioned, what we want to provide our scholar athletes at Niagara is an elite experience. Part of that is winning. We want them to be servant leaders in the community. We know that they're going to achieve academically and get a diploma from Niagara, but we also want them to win. And we are proud and honored to be bringing a program from Medaille to Niagara that has a successful track record. They're doing exactly what we want to do in all of our programs, winning conference championships and participating in the NCAA tournament. You're joining a department that has tremendous momentum right now. We have had a lot of success, and it's been building year after year. but you're going to show us the way to break through, win championships, and compete in the NCAA tournament. I would like to recognize, as Tom mentioned, Laura Edholm, who's joined us from Medaille, just a fantastic leader in our region. Laura, thank you for everything that you've done in the lives of our scholar athlete bowlers. I also want to thank Jake and AdPro for being here on short order. They put together some Niagara bowling t-shirts for us, but they're a tremendous corporate partner. Jake, thank you for all that you do for our athletics department and many around this region. It wouldn't be possible to set up the culture that we have in our athletics department without the steadfast leadership of our members, and I want to thank Coach Jada Pierce for being here today. The head coach of our women's basketball program. Coach Pierce led our program to their first ever postseason berth last year in the WNIT as an excellent example of the type of leaders that we have and the type of person who are bringing quality individuals to our university. Coach, thanks for being here with us today. There's also members of our athletics administration who are here, our athletics staff. Thank you for everything that you're doing. And also members of our admissions team, Mark and Emily. Thank you for everything that you're doing to bring the Medaille folks to Niagara University. But it wouldn't be possible to expand our sport offerings without leadership from the highest level. And so I want to recognize Kevin Clark, who's a member of our Board of Trustees and the chairman of the Athletics Committee. And the Athletics Committee has been with us from the very start. A couple years ago when we started thinking about expanding our sport offerings, and bowling is actually a sport that we had identified that would fit really well into our portfolio. But Kevin, thank you for your leadership, everything that you and the Athletics Committee and the entire Board of Trustees are doing. How about a round of applause for the Niagara University Board of Trustees? I do want to express regrets from our president, Father Marr, who couldn't be with us today. He is out of town attending meetings out of town. So we do miss him, but he is also a very, very powerful leader and supporter of athletics at Niagara University. He will be out here, I promise you, when you host events if he is in town. And he's probably a pretty good bowler, although he's very humble, but he's just an excellent supporter of athletics, and we really appreciate him. With us today, we do have our provost, Dr. Tim Ireland, who also is very, very supportive. Was a student athlete of his own in college. Doesn't rub that in our face too often, but Tim, thank you for all the leadership that you, Division I, that's right. But we have excellent faculty at Niagara University, and they're also very, very good partners with us in the pursuits of our scholar athletes. So thank you everyone who's with us today to make this exciting announcement. At this time, I would like to bring Susan Petronsky forward. Susan is our Deputy Athletics Director and our Senior Women Administrator. Sue was with us at Niagara before leaving to be the Director of Athletics at Medaille University, so she has had intimate knowledge of the bowling program and Medaille and has been exceptionally helpful in bringing this team, as well as the other efforts that we are making and initiatives between Medaille and Niagara. So Susan, if you will come forward. I'd also like to bring forward Lori Porter, who is from our women's basketball team and a representative of our student athlete body. As I mentioned, we have more than 350 student athletes every year. We have two primary bodies. We have the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, of which Lori is a member, and we have our Student Athletes of Color Alliance, and they really drive us. And we look forward to welcoming the bowling program and their representatives into those student bodies. So they want to make a special presentation to Coach Jeff Walsh, officially welcoming him and Coach Peggy. I know you're just recovering from surgery, but if you would like to come up as well, we'd like to present you and welcome you officially into the Niagara University family. So we were thinking, there's been a lot of learning about bowling for many of us, and we were thinking, well, how do you officially start a bowling program? Well, there's got to be a first roll, right? And so now everyone's getting a little bit nervous, like, who's he going to pick for this first roll? And Coach Jeff, I appreciate you being willing to do the first roll for Niagara Bowling. So we've got a couple signs set up to commemorate where it will be. All right. Well done, Coach. Another shining example of success. So again, we want to thank everyone. We do have some members of the media. Thank you for coming. We'll be available for comment. We certainly want to take a number of pictures with our bowlers as well. So please hang out as long as you'd like. And thank you again for coming. And welcome to an exciting day of bringing women's bowling to Niagara University. Thank you.
When will the first competition be?
So Coach is working, finalizing the schedule. I don't know if we are able to say the first time that we'll be bowling.
Our first event will be at Mercyhurst in Erie, Pennsylvania, the first weekend in October.
Oh, great.
First week.
Okay.
So we will start this year. We are going to be up and running with a Division I women's bowling program, 23-24. And we do plan to host events of at least one, maybe two.
We're going to host in November. We'll host one and then possibly in February.
All right.
Yep.
Very good. So we'll be right back here
Yeah.
cheering them on.
Thank you.
All right. Very